We all have 4 bodies. Each and every one of us has 4 bodies. In fact, we have more than 4 bodies. And what I mean by that is you have your physical body, you have your mental body, then you have your emotional body, and then you have your spiritual body. So that can be called your aura, if you like, okay? Your energy body. You know, this is your physical and this is your energy body. There is so much terminology out there that really can be quite confusing, but I like to teach it super basic, you know, easily digestible. And then when it's like that, you can then navigate your systems a lot easier. And when I say that there's a lot more than 4 bodies, I mean, you can go into causal bodies which hold your past lives, loads of other bodies which do other things. But for the ease of teaching, let's go with 4. And I like number 4. I'm very connected to the number 4. So 4 is a good number. So this is your physical. Some people say it's your emotional, mental, spiritual. Everybody teaches this in different ways. So there's no right or wrong. But for me, I buzz with physical, mental, emotional, spiritual. That's the way I roll. Okay, so your physical body is your messenger, all right? This is, I mean, the other day I did a video about grounding. This is all in alignment with that. You know, this is where you live. This is where you are. This is where you access your power from. Because just about that, before I dive into the 4 bodies vibe, the actual physical body, most of the time, most of us, we all don't want to be in it, right? Because we either go and drink a lot, eat a lot, we go and party a lot, drugs, whatever it might be. Even extreme habits of spirituality can just take you out of your body, because it's much better to be out there and away from this, which is classed as reality, because it's all just a bit too real. So there are many, many different ways that we escape from the physical body. And again, another video I did the other day about vibrational autonomy. This all comes into play with this video. So basically, vibrational autonomy is about stepping away from you, not having your own back, leaving yourself, you know, at any given moment, dimming your light. So in a way, not being in your physical body is kind of an example of that. In a way, not being in your physical body is an example of not being grounded, because this is the here and now. And this ultimately is where your power is. And I speak from experience, having done this energy work for a long time and gone through the layers upon layers upon layers. You know, I didn't want to be here. I mean, I suffered drug addiction for, God, from the age I was young, and I basically had about a good 10 years on it of just wanting to leave my body, smoking weed, doing pills, chemicals, whatever, anything, so I didn't have to be here. And then I progressed onto my spiritual path, and then I started to adopt the energies and connect with them and start to work with them and bring it into my life. But then I still buzzed with my spirituality outside of here, because I didn't want to be in my physical, which is why I was always so ungrounded, you know. I wasn't in the here and now. So even though I wasn't doing drugs, and even though I wasn't in a bad emotional way, I still accessed my spiritual path from out here, not in here. So all of these examples, drugs, drinking, you know, not being present, you know, doing your spirituality path out here, whatever, are all examples of basically disconnect, okay, and being less in your power. Because here's the thing, here's the irony. When you come fully into your body and you connect into the earth and you plug in this power, these energy bodies, when you plug in these energy bodies and beyond, and you plug this power into your physical body and then the earth, it's like power charge. It's that generator, like, you know, that just amps everything else that you've already got going on. It's like the final switch that you flick to just fire up all the Christmas tree lights. And I mean, you think you're doing pretty well out here. Wait until you plug in and you actually come into the grounding. I mean, literally, it's like electricity, right? You need to ground it, you need to earth it, and then kaboom, you're in your power. You know, so that is why this is so very important, because right now, if we're not here, we're not anywhere. Doesn't matter what you do, who you are, doesn't matter whether you hold ceremonies, drink medicine, whether you meditate every day, you can do all of that and still be out here, but not here. It's got to be in here. So I've emphasized that enough, I think you get the gist. So now let me move into the 4 bodies, okay? So your physical body is a messenger. When we speak about your body speaks your mind, this is what they're talking about. They're talking about your body. If you get a sore shoulder, it's giving you a message. Every single thing, down to each and every vertebrae, every ache, pain, twinge, anything, even if you walk through the house and stub your toe on the couch, or you trip down the step, to the leaves that fall off the tree, it's messages from spirit in every way, shape, and form. Your body is also one of the most powerful messengers. And how often do we listen to it? Like never. We run it so hard that it's so tired. We don't connect with it, because if we were connected with it, we'd treat it a lot better. We don't give it enough thanks for it that it gets us through from this place to that place. We don't give it enough thanks that it actually is the vessel that allows us to have a physical experience, a life. So your physical body has its own living, breathing consciousness, and you can actually channel your body. I've done it before, like you would do an archangel or a guide. I've actually channeled my body, and it's come back with a whole conversation. And I mean, I was one that never used to listen to my body. Being an exercise specialist, all of my years, let's face it, who hasn't gone to the gym and gone, feel the burn, no pain, no gain? I mean, oh God, it just makes me cringe that that's how I used to work with my body. But that's kind of like how we're conditioned to do so. Just put ourselves through pain. Doesn't matter if the body is just going, no, we just push through anyway, because we've conditioned ourselves to say that is good. It's not good. And then meanwhile, when you're sat at home with the bad back and the achy knee, you're like, it's okay, I'm going for a 20K run tomorrow. I mean, what is that, So I've walked that road. That's a whole nother blog post to talk about stuff like that, which maybe I will do in the next few days. So let's go back to the conversation that your body's trying to give you. So, for example, in your life, you'll have the universe, your guides, whatever you want to call it, the higher power, your energy, trying to give you messages, to give you guidance to find the best path forward. And what will happen is things will happen in your life and they'll go past your nose and you won't pick it up, or something will happen, don't pick it up. And then what happens is when you're at the last point of call, that's when the body gets involved and it says, right, okay, give her a pain in her shoulder. And you're like, oh my God, actually that's really sore. Push on through, carry on going, go and do some more weights in the gym, just ignore it, carry on with my day. Carry heavy shopping bags, it doesn't matter. Ignore it. And then that pain in the shoulder, you just walk past and you bump somebody by accident, and then your whole shoulder explodes. And now you're in the doctors, now you're all bandaged up, now you can't go to work, now you can't do anything, and you're lying there going, okay, I'm listening, there must be something more than this. Why? Because you've been put on your ass and you can't do anything else. So that is when we usually start listening to our bodies. And then we start to delve into that, because your shoulders, they bring very, very powerful messages. It's that whole thing of carrying the whole world on your shoulders. That's why we're very round shouldered. If you find that you've got round shoulders, you're protecting your heart, so you're like this. If you feel that you're hanging down, you're trying to be small, anything to do with your ankles or your feet. I mean, those are the things that carry you into the future. Anything to do with your pelvis down is to do with how you move through life joyously. Your spine is support, because it literally has you stand up. So basically, if there's an issue there, spiritually, mentally or emotionally, what's going on there? If you've got a sore back, or if there's a vertebrae out, what's gone on there? Each part of your body, even the organs, everything gives you a message if you choose to listen. So this is the physical body. So this is how I liken it, okay? So now the physical, then you have the mental body, which is how you think. That's where all your belief systems sit, your positive ones, but then also negative. So that's the negative ones will show up as blockages. Because if you believe something to be so, then of course, it's going to come through in the body as quite rigid. So your belief systems also sit in your knees. So if you have knee issues and you want to bend your knees, what's going to happen is why have you got rigidity in thinking? What's going on there? Is it your right knee, which is to do with what you're doing in your life? It's your physical masculine side. Or is it your left side, which is going to be your feminine, your emotional side, your spiritual side? So everything is at our fingertips to read exactly what we got going on. So that'll be your mental body, how you think. Then we go to the next outer ring, and that is your emotional body. Speaks for itself, how you feel, anxiety, fear, disillusionment, shock, whatever it might be going on that's happened in your life will get stored there. Then you have your what we call the universal body, which is basically the spiritual body on the outside, the spiritual outer ring. And that is your connection to spirit or source. And even in there can be some negative spiritual beliefs, because let's keep it real. I mean, we hold a lot of density and baggage there, even to do with our spiritual path, which can block us. And then ultimately that's your connection to the rest of all there is. So I always liken these four bodies to, let's think about a dinner party. Imagine you've got a dinner party and you've got these four guests vibing, all sitting around the table. and one is on the cell phone, one's drunk way too much vodka, is arrogant, the other one is just plain rude. Do you know what I mean? And they're all just sat there just like, and you're going, oh my God, this is the worst dinner party ever. How quickly will you want them to eat and get the hell out your home? There's going to be dysfunction, the energy is going to be awful, you're just going to feel nauseous, it's just horrible. Those are your 4 bodies. They all have issues. Each and every one of those guests, they have issues. Now think of a dinner party of all 4 of you sat around the table. One is really intellectual, the other one is quite funny, and everybody's vibing. Everybody has something in common. So now the energy just flows, and one person gets on with the next person, and that sparks a conversation over here. And now all of a sudden you've got the best dinner party, ever going on in front of you. That is the relationship that you should have with all of your bodies. So when they're not talking and you've got that arrogant and the drunkard and the opinionated guest, that is when you've got dysfunction and density which is left undealt with. And then what will happen is you're a representation of the physical body. You're sat at the top of the dinner table going, oh my God, I wish this could be over. I'm actually feeling physical pain in my body because this is just so horrible. So now you can understand, keep this clear, and then keep your physical body nice and strong. The body's happy. She or he is listening to me. Everything is good. So when we have that conversation, when we have that fluidity in the vibration and the frequency that goes from here all the way out here, you shine bright, man. And you are a beacon of light. And your physical body is just like, la, do you know what I mean? Honestly, it's like super happy. So that is where we say your body speaks your mind. So the whole thing in this life is to basically get these 4 bodies vibing, make sure that they have strong, healthy relationships and they get on with each other. And, there's longevity there, So if there are any tweaks or anything going on here, you know where to look. Is it how you're thinking? Is it how you're feeling? Whatever. You get the gist, right? So I just want to speak to finish off about the importance of having a strong physical body. Now, in my experience, I have been in the fitness game for 18 years, right? It's a long time. I call myself a fossil of the fitness industry. And yeah, I've kind of understood my physical body in the addictive sense. I've bashed it to pieces. I've looked after it. I've had conversations with it. I've exercised it hard. I've rested it for a long time. I've had all sorts of manner of means of relationship with this physical body. We've been through a lot together. You know what I mean? And we're tight now. So basically, what I have seen throughout my years of being in the fitness field and also seeing in the spiritual realms, you get a lot of people which are connected very physically with their physical bodies, but nothing else here. Those are the runners. Those are the ones that are addicted to gym. Those are the ones that are hammering the living daylights out of their body because there's no conversation going on here. They just want to run the living daylights out of this body. And why do they want to do that? I call them sports fugitives. I've seen runners that just run and run and run. And yes, a lot of them are basically running because it's meditative and that's just amazing and awesome. But there's a lot of people that are running just to escape what they've got going on inside. Kick in with those endorphins. Let me feel something else than my inner pain and suffering that they may or may not be aware of because they've got used to living with it. So you get like a sports fugitive. So are you using exercise and fitness to run away from yourself, like my drug addictions, like my extreme relationships with my spirituality that used to keep me out here? Or are you actually just running because it's feeding your soul? Because remember, it's about where you're coming from. Are you coming from out there with your fitness and your exercise and your movement and your relationship with your body? Or are you coming from within it? Because nothing wrong with doing CrossFit as long as you are, and then you do 10 classes a week as long as you're coming from the right place. So you get my gist. These bodies need to be working with this body. So going back to this, just people just being in the physical body. So they have this connection here, which is great and lovely and they're fit, but that's it. Then I work with and have seen spiritual people that are so connected out here, but they've got nothing in the physical. Not many people, they might do a bit of yoga, but I've seen many people with shoulder issues, too much drumming, or basically sitting cross-legged all the time, man. I mean, that's been my biggest thing. Sitting on the floor, cross-legged, like you got to be seriously bendy in the hips to be a spiritual being nowadays because you're always sat on a bloody cushion. Do you know what I mean? Chairs, I'm actually sat on a chair today, is a good day. But you see what I'm saying? So it's at the end of the day to bring balance. That's what I'm trying to get to, balance. But the problem is here, especially if you're a spiritual person, this body has got to be fit and well and clear and full of light to be able to embody all of these frequencies that are coming in. To live in this day and age, in this now time, you have to have a strong physical body. Not to go and pump iron, to be able to bring in the codes, the frequency and the vibration, which is powerful because it's big light, it's big energy. If your physical body isn't strong enough to hold it, you're going to get sick. You're going to pop a knee. You're going to hurt your neck. You're going to have all sorts of issues because this is your foundation. So as I said in the beginning, if you're not here, you're not anywhere. So this is about finding your balance. You cannot build a house on wobbly bricks. It's going to fall down. This is your wobbly bricks. Or maybe you've got strong bricks. Maybe it's so super strong with just fitness and that's all, that this outer foundation, if you will, is a bit flimsy. So you got to make sure that everything is flowing. And then when everything flows, everything feels good. Mental, emotional, spiritual, physical, boom. Nice dinner party that you got going on there. So you get what I'm saying. So, I see it all the time that even though we're like super duper spiritual beings doing like big energy work, all over the world with our clients, whatever, we don't have a strong enough body to be able to bring it all in, which is why we can't ground fully. We might go and do some grounding exercises all day, every day. But if you don't have a strong body to bring in the light that is meant for you, you're going to be vibrating half in your body and half out. So that's really important, which is why I've been banging on about grounding and all the rest of it. And then equally so, if you're just stuck in your body and you're just running and you're a fitness person and there's no connection with this energy body of yours, or what I'm talking about doesn't resonate, you need to get it to resonate, because that means that there's a huge imbalance there as well. So usually when you're running like that and you don't have a relationship with it out here, there is usually addiction, big addiction, and all addictions are addiction to pain. We are so used to suffering that's basically how it comes. Have you ever had like a really good run of things and then you're kind of scratching around looking for something to go wrong? Do you do that? I know that when I clear a really like negative trigger or a negative part of my life that's been going on, when I've cleared that and I feel this openness and expansion, it's something I'm not really used to. So I start to try and fire up that old trigger just to see if it's there. It's not there. But the fact of the matter is I go looking for it. So that's what I'm saying by like we are addicted to our own suffering. We're addicted to our illnesses. We're addicted to pain. And that's not a judgment on you or any of us or myself. It's just how it is. It's just how it is. So it's all of these things. It's just for you to have a quiet ponder and a quiet moment and just process it all and just see, where can you come into a better balance? Where can you spread more light, which maybe doesn't have any? Because once you get this formula is all about the balance. It's all about the conversation. It's all about the vibration. It's all about frequency. It's all about flow. So where can you bring more flow into your life, your physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual? So I'm going to leave you with that because there's a lot of information in there. And next time we sit, we'll be talking about sore bits on the body and what they mean and how we can actually clear them. So have a great day further, and don't think there's anything else to add to here except peace. Chat later.